And so, because I don't want to focus on this too much, I just want to unpick certain bits so that we can drop some lessons on people. And feel free not to answer if this is too difficult a question. But what were the most difficult moments in your during your sentence?
I went to jail at 18. As I mentioned before, I was very close to my grandparents. So I went to jail knowing my situation now, there was a strong possibility that they won't be alive when I come out. That's the hardest thing I've got.
Yeah.
And it haunts me now, I'll be honest. I get emotional just like thinking
Yeah,
about it. It haunts me. So like, that, I said to my mum, like, coming out and dealing with that, it's always there, so I can't get that time back. You know what I mean? So that's tough moments. My granddad was in open prison, so I was able to go to his funeral, thank God. My nan, I wasn't able to go, and that's when I was in Gartree, and that literally broke me. I couldn't be around no one. I just couldn't be around. Like, I just thought I had to remove myself for a good 2 weeks. Mum would come and say, "Oh, you alright? Yeah, cool. I just need to be by myself and to process it and just try it." I just thought, like, if I'm gonna go fall off now and go the wrong way, it's gonna be kind of the back of that. So I kind of had to just remove myself out of the prison environment and just be, you know what I mean? It was tough. That was tough, man. It was tough times.
I think people don't realise that. They don't think
That's the reality
of it.
That's the real, when you say consequences, they're the real consequences, because that's not just you, it's your family that suffer and people around you. And you know, my grandparents, my granddad used to come and see me, my nan wasn't well, so she couldn't come and see me anyway, so me speaking to them on the phone was quite a big thing. So then, you know, when she passed away and when he's passed away, not having that, like, it's a big thing, man, like, you know what I mean?
Definitely. You know, especially dealing with it in such a hypersensitive
environment,
yeah.
And then you come to prison, like in a certain way, people can kind of pick up on that and try to use it to their advantage, or, so I just, like I said, couldn't be around no one. Just thought, knowing how I am, my temperament's not right, I'm not in the right frame of mind, just be away from it for a man. To be honest, I think I was in the right prison at the right time, because I went to Gartree at 21, when I first turned 21, they moved me straight away. So I went there, I was one of the youngest in the jail, and I'm around like all the life sentence guys, so they can appreciate and respect that kind of situation there, and I think that helped me, being around older people as well.
Yeah, could have gone completely left.
Yeah, if I was in Wales at that age there,
mate.
You know,
Explosions.
Yeah. Aylesbury. Northallerton, all them got the nameless where we could have ended up, to be honest.
Just on Aylesbury, that was probably the most dangerous prison I've ever been to.
Aylesbury?
Oh, brother.
Was it bracket in there?
Yeah, it was proper. Like, if you couldn't hold your own, that's when you find out whether you're about that life.
That's when you got something about you.
Yeah, you know.
Princewood as well.
And I think thank you for talking about this. I really appreciate it, because, you know, sometimes you need to hit home to these young people out here that are playing with their freedom and their futures. You know, not just theirs, another person's too, and another family on top of your family. You know,
and these are the victim and their families as well.
Exactly. And these are the real repercussions that, for example, we've rid prison, yeah? It's not easy, but doing the burden is the easy bit. It's the effects on your family, your mother, if you've got children, you know, and then how those relationships change over time, because you're removed from them. So I'm working with a young man now who's just been released about 3-4 weeks ago. He went away when he was 14 and he's getting out. He's now a week away from his 18th birthday. And he's saying he's really struggling to connect with his family, to rebuild that connection, because he went away a boy and now he's a young man. Yeah. So it's different, it's a different dynamic. And it's really challenging for him navigating that. He was away for 3.5 years. So these are the realities that we have to deal with, that we have to hit home to these young people out here, you know, playing with their lives and their futures. When the potential was so high, all of us had incredible potential that we're fulfilling now later on in life. But imagine we was able to utilise our energy and hone it in the right way.
It's never too late to kind of, if you make a mistake, but ideally you want to not make the mistake in the first place. I mean, like, I kind of look at myself now, like, I've done really well coming out of jail. Yeah. To think if I had that at 18, how far could I have been now? How much further could I have been?
Saying that the other day, I was saying that the other day to one of my boys, if we channeled that energy, that potential, fulfilled it,
the opportunities are endless.
Part of the problem is there's not people like us now, back then, to guide you.
I've been saying that as well. That's a big thing I've been saying. I feel as if that nowadays there's enough people who look like us
Yeah.
and speak like us in higher places, whether that's corporate spaces, whether that's construction, whether it's this place, we can relate to people now. But when we was coming up, there wasn't that. There was footballers, rappers,
That's it.
and then the
dealers,
drug dealers,
fraudsters.
fraud people, robbers. That were the role models for us.
Yeah.
But now
The role models are in household things, and like
100%.
construction and like.
and now we've got role models within our communities.
But I also feel like we need to glorify the postman,
Yeah,
the GP,
100%,
you know,
100%,
the local shopkeeper,
100%.
you know, the local entrepreneur that's at the market stalls every day grafting, because those are the people that overlooked. Why are we not looking to them as role models?
Yeah,
100%.
You
people
know,
don't think it's cool, and it's like not music, and it's not, you ain't got chains on
That's
or
what it is, isn't it?
clothes or whatnot.
But it's just based on society's outlook on things. Do you know what I mean? And I also feel as if like there's a lot of, we've been desensitized more and more and more as the years go on. At nowadays, I think now the young people now are so desensitized, it's actually wild.
Yeah.
Even back in our day, we were desensitized, but we knew our limits. We knew that we can't take it too much, too far.
yeah.
But young people now, they've just gone a little bit more wilder. But I feel that this is where it's more important for people like us who've kind of come from where they've come from, understand their journeys, to kind of stand up and try and be that kind of like pillar within their communities, to kind of support them and show them that there's a different way kind of thing. Do you know what I mean?
So when we were talking earlier, and we was walking around the school area, you mentioned about, you know, graduating, you know, getting a 2-1.
Sick.
Talk us through that process, because obviously you were studying whilst you were in prison. So,
That was a long-winded part added on to the pressures of prison. As I said, I started it, and I got to a point where I generally felt I couldn't carry on. I mean, having regular conversations with my nan, like, you still doing that university course? Like, you know, as she was the person who said, you start something, you never finish it. So I think when she passed, that was the kind of time I was kind of like up and down with the university, and I think that was kind of like getting me back on track. Like, you know, you have to finish this. At least if she can see what you're doing, at least she'll see that you finished it. That would be her piece, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's what kind of got me the motivation back to, you know, I've got to get on this, doing the late nights, doing like the 4 o'clocks and doing the writing, that kind of stuff. But that was off the back of my nan passing away. Cause at that point I was probably thinking like, you know, I've started it now, but I'm not completed. So
no, it was hard work, because I used to, because we lived in the same landing.
Yeah.
So there's times I've walked past you, and I'm like, the light's on 1, 2 in the morning, and you're at your desk, writing away, like intense, zoned. I'm like, focus is real. It's like, graphic, back to the pen, you know. So I respect it.
I look back now, and obviously, like, you know, I've graduated, it was in the gown and the hat, and now I think like it was all that sacrifice there that was worth it. It was worth it. Mum, like I said, mum took the picture. She took the thing as well.
Took the diploma
straight away. So it's in my mum's house, but it's nice, man. It's nice. It's a sense of achievement and completion, and under the worst kind of circumstances as well to achieve that as well.
No, big praise for that. Big ratings for that. Coming out with a 2-1 what was the qualification?
So I've got sports, BSc, honours.
Bachelor of Science.
Yeah, Bachelor of Science.
Furthermore, sorry, let's reintroduce. Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Hey!
Bachelor of Science, Sports Science. That's cold.
Yeah, man.
Amazing.
No, big ratings for that. What was the graduation like?
Oh, it's amazing. It's kind of like a bit of a setting like this. Went to Symphony Hall in Birmingham on a bigger scale. I mean, it's a bit surreal. I'm just thinking, like me, like all these people are like, you know, I'm kind of looking at my situation. I've done mine from jail. There's people been like 4 or 5 years to university, and they've probably gone to the best universities around, and you know, and I just think like it's humbling. It's humbling. And I tell you what, when I was all right all day. Till I got to the stage, you know, like, they call your name at the edge. Yeah. I was thinking like, yo, just make sure you move, and just make sure you don't fall over, like, in front of, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, you know, like you're waiting, and I just call your name, and I was like, oh, I think because I'd invite 10 people, so I had my mum and dad, my sister, my niece, and a couple of my friends who I grew up with, like, they come as well. So I was like, I just kept saying, yo, everyone make sure you're there, and like, so when I go on stage, like, hear people shouting, it's like, yo, is that your family up there? It's like, yeah, look at, like, different kind of feelings, man. So I got all of that on video, like, they're the kind of things I kind of look back at and kind of think like, yo, yeah, man.
That's cool.
I remember saying, you know, sometimes in the street life, people like the hustle. They get the buzz. They get that gratification from that. Do you feel like, you know, making a massive achievement like graduating, gave you that gratification, that sense of achievement that potentially you could have got from doing, you know, negative things in the past?
I think so. I think the sense of achievement for that is just like, you know, like no matter what situation I was in the worst of the worst situations, there's one positive outcome. And like I said before, like there's something like no matter what people think of me or how they judge me, they can't take that away from me. They can't strip it away from me because I've earned that myself.
Yeah.
Only I've earned and done the hard work to obtain that. You know what I mean?
Love that. Love that.
Crazy, man. I want to say, when it comes to graduation, one thing that I always think of when you throw the hat up, and you get a chance to throw the hat up.
Yeah, so that's an outside of my family, and that, like, and like, you know, just like, man's feeling a bit cool, but I think like in that moment, you know, you see what people doing it, and I think like, it was a bit overwhelming, to be honest. It was a bit overwhelming. Obviously, my partner was there as well, so it was nice for her to be there and kind of see like get to the end and that. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I obviously got even like I got pictures on my phone. Like sometimes I just kind of like scroll through them. Like my mum, obviously got my mum and dad aren't together, but as a unit supporting me all the way through. So it's nice to see them. I have smiles on their faces. Like one, we're not in prison, and two, we actually got something like to congratulate and achieve for achievement. You know what I mean?
That's it, man.
Speaking on that, now, from, you know, now you're a graduate, you're a construction site supervisor, hopefully you'll be a site manager. I'm hoping that's the next step, you know. How do you utilize your experiences when you speak to young people and when you deliver seminars? What are your key messages that you get out to the young people?
I think the key message I always try to get across is always believe in yourself. And you know, like I was very someone who was touted to be could do amazing things. I like so many kids now in our environments that positive, like they can do good, great things, but you know you can't get blindsided by the road. I mean, I kind of got blindsided by the road, but I wanted to be on the road. I think some people, like peer pressure, and kind of get led astray. You know what I mean? So in terms of like messages, it's always like, you know, don't be. I was trying to say to my friends, like I felt like my situation was the mistake that everyone else sinned, and it woke up everyone else. Everyone else in my age group who I know, from that when that thing happened to me, they thought, "Now I need to get my life back together. I need to get my life on track." And every single person pretty much hasn't been in jail or haven't been on that scale of. And I feel like sometimes they kind of say that one person has to be the four person, and unfortunately for me, I was that person. So I feel like people have obviously I've benefited in the long run, but people have benefited at that time. Thought, you know, that's not how I want my life to go. If that's happened to Damien, then clearly that can happen to us. So I kind of need to change what I'm doing and change my direction. But in terms of like messages, it's always be positive. Like, you know, as much as you can, apply yourself to, you know, things like construction. I didn't ever see myself in construction. I'm not someone who say, oh yeah, I'm going to go work in construction, I'm going to go build stuff and whatever. But, you know, the opportunities are there. You get your foot in the door, you can go drive any machine you want, you can learn about the railway, you can learn about digging, pilings, all that kind of stuff. And you can make good money. People just think, because you have to be on the road to make money. There's people in normal jobs making more money than people on the road.
100%.
Big fact.
Big fact.
People don't understand. They don't understand it, man.
I was chatting in the assembly the other day and they were like, how much money did you make? I was like, is it? Let me do the calculation sheet. Let's say I made 100 bags. I've spent the best part of 10 years in prison. So that's around 10 bags a year.
Oh, yeah.
Just minus all my expenses. It worked out to be, I've got about 2.5 grand to show for it. Yeah? So 2.5 grand over 10 years, that's 25 bags. It's a dead job. 1 year.
That's it.
Someone in McDonald's who's flipping burgers on 29, 30k a year. So that person in a year working at McDonald's has already eclipsed my street career.
Doesn't make no sense.
It doesn't add up. The maths doesn't make sense. And now in the career that I'm in the path that I'm taking, I've made more money than I used to make when I was on the road.
People just look at it materialistic, like, well, you got 4 chains and you obviously got a big car, you got a big engine car, and that. Like, the materialistic things, they're not the end all and be all. It's nice, of course, it's nice. Everyone wants to have nice things, but ideally, like, in terms of investments, income, like, I feel like kids, they need to be schooled on that a bit more as well. You know, when I was a kid, all I wanted to do was get money by trainers.
Yeah. You changed now.
If I had £120, I've gone to town, I spent £110 on trainers, I bought McDonald's, and then the rest of the day I'm walking around with like £5 to get home. But they'll say, like, now, the different generation of kids, the smart kids, they've got access to the internet and that kind of stuff now. Like,
AI.
Yeah, they can running companies, they can be already building but we need to, us as elders now, we need to kind of push them and keep pushing them, like, you know, this is what you want to get yourself into. or social media is nice, of course it's nice. It's got good and bad points of it. But the positive points, how you can run your own company, build yourself up. There's what we need to kind of be pushing youngsters into, man.
You've got your own promotion.
100%.
You can build up your own marketing.
Yeah.
You know, you can build up your portfolio. Websites are easier to design and build and maintain.
They're not on like what's it Pixel and all kind of things like
that.
Yeah.
Literally that.
Yeah, got ChatGPT. Got loads of these software programs.
I use ChatGPT at work.
I use that
as an adult.
I use it as work every day, bro.
So like this is when somebody I worked on site and also like the machine and I always ask questions me because there's nothing wrong with asking questions. There's nothing wrong with finding that information. People think you're a supervisor, you should know it all. Realistically, you're not gonna know it all. So I'll be speaking to someone and I might just go to GPT and like, what's that machine there? That is the machine. It tells what exactly. All right, cool. Then now I'm schooling myself at the same time. What I'm helping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that, man.
That's leadership, you know. Being a leader doesn't mean that you have to have all the answers.
Correct.
But you can point us in the right direction
Point
to get
in the right direction. That's
100%.
right. Yeah, that's right.
100%. And see, even the kind of field that you're working in, there's a lot of tickets you have to like kind of
Yeah. So especially for the machines, you have to have tickets. Normally people go on courses, and then once you've done the courses, you get like a red card. Your red card just to say like you passed, but obviously you need more training. Once you've done so many hours or you've done so many shifts and whatever, you then obtain a blue card. Your blue card will go with like an MVQ, like a level 3 or level 2, and that will give you like a skilled. So you can be skilled in like load and shovel, or ADT, or any kind of machine. So, me personally, I would always encourage and try work with guys who got red cards because I feel they need a chance. I mean, there's a lot of supervisors out there that kind of write people off straight because I've got a red card, I don't want him, and that's not really the positive output we need to be putting the supervisors. How can you kind of just write someone off? You haven't seen them go on the machine. 2, they would never get the experience to get a blue card if you couldn't put them down. So sometimes as a supervisor, and obviously I'm always going to be one responsible for safety. So if they're not safe, then cool, that's a different situation. But if they're safe and they're trying to apply themselves and they're turned up on time, and they're trying to learn, I would always work with that person and try to get them, you know what I mean, up to level.
No, I appreciate that, man.
Am I saying it right? Nachos, yeah? Nachos. See, man saying nachos like it's... I'm trying to make it...
I'm trying to make it
flamboyant. You don't know what I'm saying, but nachos. Okay, so now this is Nachos Green Community Centre.
Yeah.
What does this place mean to you then?
So it's a bit of a throwback. It's actually a bit of emotional because as a kid, I used to come here all the time, and I haven't been here as an adult and took it in. I haven't taken it in.
Okay.
So to kind of just like look at it now, like now obviously you can see that it's closed off.
As a lot of community centres, even around the country, have been closed down.
Yeah.
So obviously this is no different.
Yeah.
So what was this like in terms? What did it do for you in terms of growing up and your youth?
So this was a big part of my growing up, especially like this is what we call, people you grow up with just from the sandpit.
Yeah.
This is your core guys, you know what I mean? So pretty much my era, I'm 35 now, so my era from the late 80s, early 90s, all of us from all the avenues, the manors, all come here.
Yeah.
So that's Nachos,
Nachos,
Aston, Lazar's, even man from other sides of town really, to be fair, but everyone kind of, this is their starting point.
Okay.
You get to know each other, you grow your vibe. People I still speak to this year, like now, 25 years, 26 years.
Wow.
We started here. Still speak to them every day, you know what I mean? So
what kind of activities would take place around in the
centre?
centre?
Like, in this community centre, the guy called Wes, used to run it.
Okay.
Hood legend.
Yeah.
We used to put on the play scheme. We used to do we used to go away. We used to do football, boxing, a boxing gym upstairs.
Wow.
Do your pool, creative arts, your drawing. Every week, every Thursday, Friday, we used to go on a trip. So we got like Can Hill Park.
Okay.
We got different areas. Like I think we went to Western Supermare, been to like real the seaside places.
Yeah.
Back in the day, obviously, even like we had a swim bath. It's shut down now.
Okay.
In Newtown, you could go swimming. All them kind of things man managed to do as a group.
Yeah.
But, it was communal. So everyone felt together. Everyone from the area felt close knit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, like over time, that's probably part of the problem now. You've lost that.
Yeah, you lost that. Yeah.
It's not the same, man.
So did you find that when you was going away with the community centre, it gave you a new aspect of like life and in terms of like what's outside of the hood?
Yeah, definitely. Most definitely. I mean, at that age, all I know is the hood.
Yeah.
All I know is the hood, and obviously the guys who I grew up with. So as we start to get older and people start to branch off to go to different schools.
Yeah.
Obviously, you get different circle of friends.
Yeah.
I mean, at that age there, you just knew who you knew.
Yeah.
I mean, as you get older in like teenage years, even like now as adults, everyone's got different circle. You have different circle of friends who you interact with probably more than interact different bases. You know what I mean? Different terms.
Yeah. And I think like things like this are needed even more so nowadays. Like they need to bring these community initiatives back.
So from my outlook and what I've been through, and obviously like, talking with kids, obviously the kids now don't have no base.
Yeah.
Even for us, like I was saying before, we had 6 weeks holiday. 4 of them 6 weeks holiday, you was there.
Yeah.
Everyone was going there.
Yeah.
There was no excuse.
Yeah.
So you know, all your mum's got to do is find the last 2 weeks of get you something like grandparents or someone will just take over. But your first 4 weeks, just know you know you're going to play every single day.
Yeah.
It's patterns.
And
back then the bus was like 20p. You get the 20p and got like 3-4 stops on the bus. And, like
20 stops.
Yeah.
Old school for real.
My nan used to live in the other area just behind. So I managed to hop it 4 stops. 17p to pay. Top 4 stops, man. Before day savers and all them kind of stuff and that.
So then, when you like speaking to young people that you like with what you do now, how do you pass on like your experiences to them so that they can learn from maybe the past errors that we may have made, or you know, the triggering points, you know, the moments where it could have been a decision that you made that gone against you in the future? How do you bring that experience to the young people that you connect with?
When I've had dealings with the young people, right, my kind of output is to be honest with them. So I've had to be like, my situation is not an extreme situation. However, for them to suss the reality of it, it has to be extreme. It has to kind of know. In terms of trigger points, you know, like I said before, you know, there was a stage in my life I was carrying a knife every single day. That's a trigger point. If I look back at it now, it's a bit scary, but back then I just thought it was normal. Yeah, it actually got to the stage where it was normal, which
normalised those things.
Which is actually, you know, if you look at it, it's kind of like it's a trauma. It's like a secondary trauma. And I didn't even realise that. I've only realised that as an adult taking it in. So in terms of the trigger points, it's about me as what I perceive and me in their shoes, getting that trigger point, but also like identifying, if you're carrying a knife and it becomes normal, you're normalising it. That's a trigger point. Yeah. You know, if you're in a situation and it's looking it's going to go south and people, that's a trigger point. Yeah. That's when you're about to enter flight and flight. Yeah. Some people will just run off. Yeah. But if you're from like areas like this, that's not really, it's kind of engraved in you, that's not really an option. Yeah. Man kind of want to fight and kind of
you want to stand their ground and stand your ground.
So it's all right, you can stand your ground, but when you stand your ground, that's when the consequences come in. Yeah. If you can live with the consequences, which I always try to put onto the kids, like, they're like, yeah man, I'll stab someone, cool. You're saying that now, but have you sat down and analysed the consequences? Yes. So that's when I come in. I'm saying my consequences is now I went to jail. I've done over 10 years. Yeah. For something that happened in space of 3 minutes changed my life forever. After that, then you know people go to jail and they glamorise jail and think got phones, got this and that, and I think you know when you go to jail you're by yourself. Yeah. I spent a lot of time as a human by myself. Yeah. My development from 18 to 30 was literally all my 20s was by myself. Mad. So you know. Things you just do, like you're seeing your family, like you're strictly seeing your family, your parents, like all that kind of, that's the real stuff, that's the real stuff that
That's the real stuff that
but they don't see that, because no one will show that, no one will show that side. There's only people who've been away and done a long time, and they come and say, yo, you think it's cool that you can see people 4 times a month? Like, I got security moved all over the UK. Yeah. So like, my mum's got to travel to Durham, and Hoseley Bay, Ipswich, Northumberland, up by Scotland. Like, it's not a joke, man, because not everyone's people are fortunate to travel.
Is that your fault? Yeah.
Not everyone's fortunate to travel or drive. You might not get visits. Yeah. And that can have not even the mental, that can have an impact. Like, there was a certain point in my sentence. Yeah. The visits, I was kind of holding on to the visits, to be honest. Like, I was kind of getting to a stage like,
you need the visits.
I need the visits, and I need them to kind of uplift me, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a joke, man.
And that's the other side that is not portrayed or is not spoken about enough. That, you know, it's all well and good saying that you're going to write the sentence, but how it affects you mentally, how it affects your family, your relationships, even your development as a man,
as a person,
as a human being, as a person, it really affects you. And from our experiences, we know it can go left. Like, you can see some guys, they break down in there, you know, whether that's a mental breakdown, whether that's even physical health, because some people, they eat comfort food, you know, they get unhealthy, the lack of training, lack of sleep. And those are the things that really affect people. So like, if there's young people watching now, what I'd say to you guys is, you know, actions and consequences. Like us, we're still dealing with the consequences of our actions, and some of them are 10+ years ago. You know, them mistakes that we made.
senses are so heightened. Like when
Yes.
it's gonna kick off,
Yeah.
you can
Feel it in the air.
I said this to someone before. When I was in Life of Jail, I was in Gartree.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can open your doors in the morning. Somebody can just come out on the landing. Say, yo, that don't feel right. No, yo. And I'm gonna say you go behind you, just lock your door, your door.
Yeah.
Say, yeah, you know what? Yeah, trust me, man.
Yeah.
Trust me.
No, it's real.
And I'll give you a quick example.
Yeah.
So that same incident, I come out one time.
Yeah.
I see that Life is Jail now. Everyone's got 99 years on the door, so
Wow.
everyone's in the same situation. Everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah.
No one's not going home.
Yeah.
About 6 guys, probably the whole time I was there about 3 years. But about 6 people come off the wing that went to another jail.
Okay.
So that tells you the kind of severity.
Yeah.
So anyway, sometimes it's a natural for man to have arguments with each other because you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a routine, so
Yeah.
I've got a routine, the next man's got a routine.
Yeah.
So you might see that same man do the same thing every single day for 2 years at the same time. So
Yeah.
10:30, mum's gonna be there.
Yeah.
This is his routine.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
that's how he's processing his jail. That's how he's getting through.
Yeah.
So one day there's a couple of arguments about who's cooking and where to. But you see, like saying now, come out next day, you can feel the energy. So he just said, yo. Because it's volatile and obviously man's I'm saying, obviously things build up and you know when you go behind your door you start ruminating and you
start contemplating, you're thinking.
If you're a set man, you might think, you know what, I'm dealing with that tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not making that. I'm not making certain things happen.
100%.
So anyway, come out on the landing, gone downstairs, made my food. One gentleman, he doesn't cook. So I know. So now my trigger points are coming in now because I used to cook his food. So cook food for him sometimes. So he don't cook. But he's in the kitchen. He's heating up oil and that. So I'm saying to myself, boy, this is my point. I say, you know what? Let's get my food and go behind my door. I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
I know what's going on.
Yeah.
Minding my own business as you do. Not telling no one
nothing to do with me. Yeah.
I'm analysing the situation.
Yeah.
This is what I think's gonna happen. All right, I'm gone in it.
Yeah.
2-2s now. Dinner time come 4:30 now. Food out. Obviously one of the brothers on the servery.
Yeah.
Man's come out hot audium, etc.
Yeah.
But just say like that's just how you just aware what you were saying there. You can come out and just feel the vibes in the
Yeah.
wing and say, yo, yeah, you know what? He's not that today, innit? He's not that today, innit?
That's crazy.
Even after when you first come out of prison, also, it's very hard to kind of adjust. Because things are kind of moving fast. I don't know if it was for you.
Yeah.
When I came out, everything was really fast. How did you do that?
When I come out of jail, 2:20. So I come out. Luckily, what probably helped me, we come out in COVID.
The lockdown.
I come out in lockdown. So I was having home leaves, and then I kind of transitions. I didn't feel like I was chasing anything, or I felt like everything things were moving slow anyway. So I kind of had a good time to adapt and kind of just not catch up, but kind of just find my feet really. You know what I mean? But I think before I went to open prison, I was just think like, you know what? I'd rather just do 13 years, and just go home.
Yeah.
As time got on, and when I started to open prison, I realised you can't do it. It don't work like that, man. You can't just do 12 years and say, tomorrow. Go behind the door and just do my thing. Like,
it doesn't work like that.
You don't. You need that bedding period. So you know yourself. Home leaves. You're going away for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
To us, like it's not. Like 4 or 5 days going in a flash. It's not enough.
Yeah, it's not
I'm thinking
enough.
like, I'm gutted now, I've got to travel all the way back there.
Yeah, it's like you dip your toe into real life and then you just suck back.
Day 3, 4, I'm just starting to get the feel of it. Now I've got to go back.
Now you got to go back.
But that was a good bedding period for me. Traveling and obviously started to build ties with my family. Trying to kind of see what I want to do in terms of life. But even just having a bit more freedom.
Yeah.
And you're behind the door all the time. Even the cat is open, but there's no freedom like being out with your family and
100%.
just like now I'm in a situation now. Go sleep at night. Like I don't think about my door.
Yeah.
I don't think about keys.
Love that.
Right.
Were you hearing? I was hearing keys.
So I didn't hear keys, but I'll tell you one thing. I said this to someone before.
Yeah.
Every jail I've been in, because at the end of 2 years, whatever, you know the prison, the wing to the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Innit?
Yeah.
So I worked out. Without seeing an officer, I could tell what officer was coming on the wing before they put their keys in the gate.
Wow.
But just by the jingle of the keys.
Yeah, that is.
Sometimes I think,
wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But that's what I'm thinking. I'm overthinking it over. I've just been here too long. But what you said about your senses heightening, it's the senses.
Yeah.
So I hear them keys. Yes, that's Mr. So and so.
Wow.
And certain officers are linked to come to spin you.
Yeah.
When you hear certain keys, you're up in it. You're up quick at it. You can't be slacking, man. You can't be slacking.
That's crazy. See, and that's just one example, but that's just how prison affects you.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you got to unlearn these things when you get out. So I know you mentioned earlier about mental health and counselling.
Yeah.
I too have had to have some therapy in terms of, because obviously I do the podcast, so speaking about prison a lot, it brings a lot of trauma and it gets overwhelming sometimes. So obviously you've done a considerable amount of time behind the door.
Yeah.
What did you need in terms of your mental health in order to ease your transition?
Just like you, I come out of jail and finally got myself up and running.
Yeah.
When I started to do the talks with the kids, and like explain and like my situation,
Yeah.
that's when I started to encounter the secondary trauma.
Okay.
And this is trauma I didn't think it was there. Maybe because I come out of jail and I didn't speak about it to my family.
Yeah.
Always feel like my family, they want to know about it, but they'll never understand it. So I don't go into it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, you know, family will just think, well, what you do is this. That's not always the answer.
Yeah.
You know that yourself, being the person in jail, you would know there's not always the answer for that. So I feel that's when I started to encounter this secondary trauma. And I kind of thought to myself, like, no, I think there was probably a stage where I didn't really realize it. I was drinking a lot more.
Okay.
Going to work and like every weekend I'm drinking and I was thinking like, other things were happening in my life. Like one of my family members passed away.
Oh, sorry to hear, man.
For knife crime as well.
Oh, man.
Similar situation to my situation.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, that was literally 3 weeks before I got out of jail.
Wow.
Coming out, getting released now, and it's been stamped. That happened 3 weeks before I come out of jail. So dealing with that, didn't come back into the community as well. There was a lot going on. I think just over time, that trauma, it just started to build up. But when I stopped drinking, when I started, like, I think it comes to the top. But,
okay.
You know,
is that when it came to the forefront?
Yeah, it comes to the forefront. But you know, I kind of made the decision like, I'm gonna tackle it. In my mind, a year before previously, I thought, I might say, you know what, I think I might need counselling. But you just kind of
brush it off.
I'm all right, you know, like, but a year later now, when I've stopped drinking, I'm thinking, you know what, I need to do something about this because it's not going away.
Yeah.
The thing that happened with my cousin, it feels like it happened yesterday.
Wow.
And I don't feel like I've progressed how I should have processed and progressed.
Yeah.
The thing with the jail, obviously, because I'm doing the talks with kids. Every time I I have to kind of build myself up to talk about it because I don't talk about it any other time. And then when I like finish that, I'm kind of looking at myself and I feel a bit shit. Not even shit. I just feel like down, like downcast.
Yeah.
So like it kind of throws me off track. So like as much as I want to help people and do other things, like you kind of have to. Let's just start prioritising your mental health then. 100%. So I went for a stage where I stopped doing the talks now just to kind of get myself right. If I'm not right, I can't help anyone else be right.
That's facts.
You know what I mean?
That's facts. You know, one of my mentors, Dave McQueen, he says, you gotta take some time to refill your cup if you're gonna try and pour into others. Your cup needs to be full. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. 100%. You know. And I'd recommend people to get some sort of therapy or talk to people about how you're feeling because. You know, for us, especially black men, it's something that we've been kind of...
it's taboo, man. No one wants to.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know what, it gets to a stage where man probably end up like troubling themselves or committing suicide. And you know, it could have been prevented. Yeah. But just because man ain't, like, no one want to say, yo, I'm struggling. Like, I've kind of reached out to a few man and like I put it on like Snapchat or whatever, so they know I'm tired of counselling. You know how many people have messaged me saying, yo, I've been kind of feeling the same, you know, but I just didn't want to...
say something,
But now that you've kind of said something, all right, then I know it's a normal thing. Yeah. Everyone's kind of in the same boat. That's man from London, Birmingham, all the people who have been jailed with, go for the same secondary trauma.
Yeah, it's true.
But like, everyone's just
it though,
So you have to embrace it. Somebody has to embrace it. Yeah. And it's tough. Don't get me wrong. The mentoring stuff, like it's tough, man.
Yeah, it's tough.
Doing that and then counselling as well. Cause I preferred it and found it easier talking to someone who I don't know.
Yeah. That makes a big difference.
I think talking to family easy, kind of quite a bit critical. Like yeah. So I feel like going into someone who don't know you can kind of put it out there.
Yeah.
And
without judgment, without criticism.
Yeah. And I feel the relief that I had, it kind of helped me take a step in terms of what happened with my cousin. Yeah. Take a step in the right direction. We spoke a lot about that. About like the feelings wheel, always do all the feelings wheel and how I'm feeling and kind of applying it to situations. And then I started to kind of go into the trauma of the prison, which I didn't ever think I had. I just thought, I've done jail, I've got to put it behind me now. Yeah. But you know, as a normal person, trying to be a normal person in the community, I've still got that hanging over me. Yeah. I got a life sentence. Yeah. So without me trying to not move away from the jail, it's still always there.
It's still there. It's prevalent. It's in the background.
Like luckily, I've got employment now. Yeah. The people who I work for, they know my past. But if I went to apply for another job, I'd have to go through all that mental stuff and like disclaimer. Have you got a criminal record? Yes, I have. Then I tell them what it's for. Yeah. Then they're kind of like, well, you know, you fit the mold for the job. However, you got a criminal conviction and we're a bit, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then that's the mental burnout.
Yes.
I was going to come to that. Like that's the reason why people reoffend. Yeah. So obviously, I've done such a long time. I just couldn't understand why people kept reoffending and coming back. Some guys coming four or five times. And I'm thinking like, you lot are just wasting freedom. Like I'm a long-term prisoner. Yeah. So I'm thinking when I get that chance, I'm never coming back. Yeah. However, getting released into the real world.
You see it. It's different.
I can see why, man. Because you know, you come out, cool. You get a month, 2 months, and obviously they're doing the universal credit stuff. Yep. After that, your bills are still running. You have to start finding some kind of income. Yeah. You know, a lot of people probably come out with the intention of trying their hardest to get qualification and better themselves. However, you know, some jobs they don't give you that chance.
They don't.
It's getting better, but there's still a long way to go.
There's a long way to go, and I think it's people like us that can really utilise, you know, our experiences, our connections, and our network to support other people that are, you know, leaving the criminal justice system and trying to enter employment and build careers. Because, you know, facing that rejection, you've got to build resilience. You've got to build resilience to navigate the hurdles, but you've also got to have that hunger and determination to keep trying.
Of course. No one's not going to give you a chance. You have to kind of force yourself and get yourself to the front.
Yes.
But you still got to keep pushing yourself.
Exactly.
Like, there's been points where I was trying to do the employment thing and trying to get a job, and there's a lady called Avril Grant who I worked very closely with at A-Vision. She was someone for me who at that time, I needed her support, I needed her motivation. You know, I've come out now, it's been about 6 months, done all the qualifications in jail, got a degree. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can't get a job, I can't even get a job in a factory. Like, I get to a stage where like, I'm kind of thinking like,
what's the options?
I'm getting to a crossroads now. Like, this is another thing that people don't even know. I got into a situation now, I'm at the crossroads. Do I keep trying to pull this and, you know, I got income to go in and out? Or do I start looking at other avenues of income? This is where people go wrong, and this is where people start going back on the cycle of reoffending and going back to jail. And it's real, and that's what I experienced, me coming out. And I didn't, previously in jail, I just thought, nah, you lot are just mocking it, man. You lot ain't taking this freedom serious. But I experienced it myself, and that's what I thought, you know what? I genuinely believe people try to change their life. And they got to a stage where they couldn't do it no more, and I had income and other things, and
it's
obviously you got children and...
you got responsibilities, you got people that are depending on you, plus you got to pay the bills, keep the lights on, you know what I'm saying, put the food in the fridge. And if you're constantly trying to get a legitimate opportunity and a legitimate job, but you're getting them no's, eventually you're going to be like, well, I've tried, I'm going back to what I know.
Basically.
But it's at that point, it's at that point when you've got to dig deeper, because I've been there too myself. I've had 30+ job interviews and they said no. And I'm thinking, rah, I could easily go and chat to someone.
You overqualified? You overqualified for the job?
Do you know what I mean? And then just hit the roads again and start making money, because at least I got money in my pocket.
You got money in your pocket, and you
that is the gateway back to that lifestyle, back to prison, recall, that whole cycle again.
You go from the bottom and get to the top. He's come back down again. It's like snakes and ladders.
Snakes and ladders, exactly that. You know? So talk to us about your career now. What are you doing with yourself now?
So now, I'm a supervisor, construction supervisor. Been doing that for over 3 years now. That was a bit of a... So when I got out of jail, I've done a railway qualification in jail. I kind of snuck my way on, I managed to sneak my way onto the qualification basically. So I managed to get myself on that. I didn't know if I was going to do it, but
I snuck my way on.
I'll be honest, I snuck my way onto it. I said to the guy, I'm going to Cat D soon. Obviously, if I go Cat D, when I work outside, I can work on the railway. Obviously, he's put me on the course. Long story short, I ended up not even going Cat D at that time. Anyway, but I had the qualification, so it worked out.
Yeah, it worked out for you.
So, again with the lady Avril and another lady, Rachel Green, she works at RMF. They helped me get all my qualifications, what I needed, my extra qualifications, and they actually got me onto the railway. So I've done my medical, that started getting me shifts through their agency. That was my starting point really. I mean, that breakthrough there, and getting paid and started to kind of become like a civilian or a member of the community. I feel like I'm kind of giving back.
Yeah, you feel like you're contributing to society.
I don't feel like a prisoner now. I kind of feel like, I'm on track now to do what I want to do. So I started doing the railway, which I loved it, learned a lot of skills, good skill set, worked with a lot of people. Done that for about 18 months. Then, as time goes on now, at the time of my life, obviously I was in a relationship. And that relationship wasn't progressing how I wanted to progress, and it wasn't progressing because of the times. So I was spending a lot of time at work at night. Obviously,
you're tired.
You're tired, and then daytime, my partner's at work, so you don't have time to mix them. You know what I mean?